Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome, friends. Today we are going to do something a little bit different or a little bit new for us at Live Reality Games. We are going to talk as LRGers a little bit about some of the stuff we emulate because we create our games based on these shows. We love them so much, we emulate them. And, we've been craving a little bit of reality TV, and I know you've all heard in just a little bit, Big Brother is dropping. And I'm sure if you've been on Facebook, you've seen this picture posted. I think it's legit. I don't know if it's legit. It could be photoshopped, who knows? But it connects with all the rumors. So, anyways, we're going to be talking about this. And I'm your co host, Kirk. And with me is Susan, LRG legend
Player.
herself. Player, yeah, we'll go with that. And also with us today is Alex. Tell us a little bit about your background, Alex.
All right, so I am a very new face to this LRG community. This is actually my second podcast ever, which is really cool. I'm very, very grateful and excited to be here. I've hosted 7 games down here in Colorado in the United States. I've done 1 Amazing Race, 2 Big Brothers, and 4 Survivors in the span of 3 years, and they're amazing. I love all the people, and we just this summer finished our All-Star season, which was really
nice.
fun. So I mean it's just a lot of fun. I know a lot about the game, and I'm a huge fan of Big Brother. I might even have to cut this stream a little short because I got some friends coming over to do a draft, so I gotta run and I gotta clean my house. That's how crazy my life is today. But I'm really excited for the Big Brother. I think it's very needed at this time. I think people are looking for something to entertain themselves with, and Big Brother All Stars is the perfect thing to watch at this moment. So I'm excited for it.
I'm super pumped and I'm super impressed that you've put on that many events in such a short period of time. Like one Survivor to me, and I'm like dead for another 2 years. So, like, that's impressive, Alex.
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, just yesterday, this is completely aside, but just yesterday we finished shooting a Harry Potter fan film around here. So it was like a whole production. It was crazy. But yeah, anyway, enough about that. I don't want to talk too much about that,
So why people are clicking the link is they were like, what, leaked photo? Oh yeah, that's the thing I saw earlier on Facebook too. But yeah, we're here to talk about that. And like, Alex and Susan are way more versed in Big Brother than me. I'm a Survivor fanatic. I've watched every season, but I love my Big Brother and I've watched a hell of a lot of it. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about some of these players and if they're real, like what's their best strategy, or what do you think their outcome is going to be? Are they a winner or are they a loser? So let's get into it. Susan, what are you thinking right now?
So we're going to start with the leaked 8 people photo, or do you want to touch base on all of them? I mean, as far as the leaked 8 people photo go, I'm going to say Danielle Donato stands the best out of that 8. Only just because of who she is, how she plays. I'm more of a be a bitch, be a flashy player, and I like that. I feel like maybe half of them behind. I mean, let's start with the All Stars. Like, are we saying this is All Stars? Alex, you just said you hosted an All Stars. What did you look for to ask to bring somebody back as an All Star? Because we have people on here. I mean, Kevin, people loved his game. I mean, he got 3rd place, but I don't think I would necessarily consider him an All Star for that.
Well, I think the way things have been going right now, I think they were just trying to look for that whatever people they could get for this, and there's a lot of people out there who didn't want to come back, and there's a lot of people who did come back, but then they got tested, positive in sequester. So it's very, very interesting to have a lineup like this. I think it's going to be a very interesting season. I would say it's going to be. I think I don't know what to expect, to be honest. I mean, there has been so little information about the cast and so many rumors going around that I just don't know what to expect. I mean,
do we think their placements in their first season are going to affect this? I mean, we have somebody like David, and to be honest, don't remember him. I can't recall something he said or did.
Mhm.
Even seeing his picture, sometimes I'm still like, I'm not really sure. Do you think they will target him since he's not really an all-star material? Do you think he'll do better because he can float by with such stronger players? They're going to want somebody who hasn't played the game or may not know something going further into it.
Mhm. I would say that I think, like, concerning some of those early, like the players like David, who placed, he's just got out of the last season, correct? Yeah. And he was the first person out. I'm pretty sure that was his placement on 21. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, I don't know how he's going to play. I mean, I feel like he would probably, when he gets into the game, he'll have to adapt. But all of the other all stars, I mean, all these people who've known each other for years, they could just see him as an early boot and they just, say, okay, I don't know you too well. And then they take him out. So I hope not to see him because I think he was an interesting player on the last season and I would have liked to see more of his game. CBS always does a great job of casting these people. And so I'd like to see how he plays and turns this into
That's
something.
another thing. We have people saying like, "Oh, they've known each other for years. They're most likely to
Mhm.
work together." That's another concept I don't understand. Even as a player, like you may have friends and stuff, but there's only one winner. I don't know why you would want to group yourself with like such strong players, and then at this final six struggle and be like, "Okay, now what do I do?" Like I would think. I would want to grab the people who are earlier boots and don't have the connections and be like, let's build on this. But people are saying, no, they're going to pregame. They're all going to work together. And I don't know if that's a smarter move. I mean, they're all such strong players. Wouldn't you rather gather the misfits and do something different?
Yeah. I mean, this could be it's going to be a very interesting season for sure, I guess. I don't know how
For
to
sh-
respond to that. Yeah.
for sure. Like this is my honest take right now is I feel like the title All-Stars is going to put a target on all the real All-Stars of the season. Like Janelle is going to be a freaking target. That's how I feel. Like so like I just wonder if it's going to be like a reverse effect and people that maybe were booted earlier are going to go further in the game naturally because of that.
Yeah.
You would
Um,
think, but I mean, again, it's Big Brother. This is just a leaked cast we're talking about. We won't know anything for a couple hours if this is true or not. I would say probably 80% of what we've heard is true.
Do you think like this is Photoshop though? Do you think like somebody like took their time and Photoshop David onto this picture? Like I think he's in. I think it's legit. Like I fell for it if it's not real.
yeah, I think it looks really, really professional. And I also do marketing for a career. So I can tell kind of a Photoshop from an actual photo. And I think this photo, it has very certain textures, like a little like whoosh on the bottom here, and then like we got a lot of stuff. I don't know if they can see the picture or not, but like
I can.
there's a okay, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of different like textures in the background that are just very it just looks like a CBS person did it. You know what I mean? Like it looks very official. I can't say if it's real for another few hours, but it looks very, very true.
Well, I'm super excited for Danielle. Like, I'm super pumped. I think this could be, well, it could be her season unless she's perceived too much as an all-star. I feel like that's going to hurt people.
I feel like people think maybe like the first time around because she played with her dad gave her a better benefit. So I think maybe they're not expecting a lot from her. I think they think that she needs her dad or she needs to have that one person having her back. But I guess time will tell.
So somebody that I never watched was Kevin. I know about his season. I've watched some of the YouTube clips and stuff like that, but can you guys tell me a little bit about Kevin's game?
Kevin did a lot of hiding in his season. I know people are like, no, he hid and made Jeff the target, made Jesse the target, but Jeff played a coup that season, and that's how Jesse went home. Had that not happened, either Jeff or Russell went home. And I think if Jesse was still in the game, Kevin wouldn't have gotten that third placement because he would have been pushed down that ladder. I think Kevin lucked out more so than gameplay.
Mm. Mm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I also wanted to say that Kevin, he hasn't played in a while. Like the last time we saw him play was Big Brother 11. And I think it's going to be interesting. We just came off of Winners at War with Survivor. And in Winners at War, there were like a very clear cut between the old school and the new school cast. And there's a lot of other names floating around of people who might be playing, they might not be playing, that are old school players. And Kevin is definitely one of those old school players.
So what are we going to consider as old school from Big Brother? From like season what to what? Because for me, I'm going to say season 9 is the cutoff for old
9.
school players. That's what I would say in my head. But
I go up to about 13, but I don't know.
okay.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry about that. There's a emergency
Oh,
in my flash flood warning in my area. So
I hope you don't get washed away, my friend.
I hope
I'm
you don't
chilling.
lose internet so you guys can watch Big Brother for your fantasy pick.
Yeah.
Now that would be the real casualty.
But I think that's something we can ask everybody watching. If they want to type in the comments, what season would they consider would be old school Big Brother versus what they consider new school? I mean, obviously we all have different opinions on that, but I would love to see season 9 players pass versus this one. I feel like when the couple season or the pair season came around, that's when showmances were focused on more, when people were more like, oh, I just want to make jury and not really cared about their placement. Whereas seasons prior to that, people didn't care. They wanted to win at all costs. It didn't really matter who you were with, who you knew. I mean, they just wanted to win. And I don't feel like with season 10 this way that there's been a clear cut, like, I want this. It's more like, I met the man of my dreams. Oh, I met this person, or I want to do this. And I feel personally it takes away from the game. I also feel that's the season. Dick's first season is when we got the live feeds and was it on Showtime or HBO After Dark? And I feel like that took away a lot of it too, because people were seeing more versus what the edited of what we see on CBS is.
Mhm. Yeah.
That totally makes sense. Like, that's a huge component of it now. So, like, I'm interested, like, what do you guys think? Like, Bailey's so fresh and new. Like, what do you think her chances are? I mean, didn't she do really well on the challenge?
Mhm.
I don't think we could compare the challenge to being on Big Brother or Survivor. I mean, I'm not really a challenge fan, but that's probably the more clickiest of all the reality game shows, in my opinion.
I have not ever seen the challenge, so I don't know how well I can weigh in on that. But I think if she plays her cards right in the Big Brother house, she could go far.
She just doesn't, she has to like control any eruption till later in the game, I think. Like, if she can like keep a even or keel earlier on, but I don't know. Like, do you think she can keep it cool?
I think people are looking forward to making her own gums bleed by screaming in anger.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, I'm always down for some good eruptions on TV. I love to see kind of the drama aspect of Big Brother.
Oh, me too. I'm more of a flash. I want to see
Yeah.
you show me how bad you want
Mhm.
it. I don't care if you're lying, deceiving people, what you're saying. Do it. If that's what you think it's going to take to win, then do it. Like, who was it that said they wanted to win because their wife had some crazy disease and they were going to use the money? Cody, which player said that they wanted to win because their wife had, it was Andy's
Thanks,
season?
Cody.
He's looking that up for me. I'm so bad sometimes with names, but it's Andy sees it, and it's the young guy. He tells people in the house that his wife is battling this illness. I don't know, it was a bone blood disease, and he needs the money to help pay for her medical care and stuff. And he got bashed all over the internet for it. But I mean, who doesn't want that money? I mean,
Mhm.
so what that he says that? I mean, it just shows he wants it. Like, good for coming up with that. If his wife didn't mind, why should anybody else?
At least he's playing the game. It really comes down, like I keep saying this with LRGs, like you don't know how many times you're ever going to get to play, so at least play it. The one time you get to play it, because who knows, knock on wood, if you ever get to play again. Like do something, try something. Don't just sit there.
I'll agree with that. I want to see more Flash. I don't want it to be all kumbaya. I don't want it to be in the first three episodes we see the 8 people that are like, okay, well, we're majority and this is what it is. I want to see, for example, like let's reference Ronnie Talbot. Okay, in his season, he didn't make it far, but he knew enough that he should throw his vote. He shouldn't vote with the majority. Let's make people think like, oh, who did that? Like, I want to see more of that. I wanted this to be worth the watch. I want to be, okay, you guys are getting your second chance because I'm not sure it should be called All Stars. Show me why you're here because you're an All Star. Make it flashy. Let's see how bad you want it.
Well, it sounds like tonight there might be a challenge. Did you hear that? Like that's the rumor I've heard. It's such a long episode. Like that would be pretty just showy right off the bat, because have they ever done that before? Have they ever done a challenge right when they move in?
I don't think so.
Celebrity, no. Right? The second celebrity one,
oh,
but they had that twist where it was like a safety thing or whatever. So I'm gonna say just that one.
Yeah. No, I think I would think, I mean, they might even go all the way to nominations tonight. I mean, it could be as crazy.
We don't get our next episode till Sunday, so whatever happens would have to give them enough time to do each of the items. I'm thinking we're just going to get a move-in and a twist.
Oh, well, it better be a good twist.
I mean, they can't give it all away at once. That's the only reason I'm thinking it's just move-in and a twist. I don't think we're going to get a challenge. I don't think we're going to get noms.
I was talking to my friend last night about Big Brother. It was like midnight, and we were just chilling in the car talking, and we were talking about how it's possible that there could be a nomination. Like they could do that right off the bat. They could just go from move in super quick to challenge right then and there, and then right after that go to nomination. I mean, I don't know, but I have a feeling that CBS is gonna throw something at us tonight. That's gonna be
well. They're gonna have to throw something at us, but I mean, they're also gonna want to pull us in, so we're not like, oh, we already know what's gonna go on. I think it's going to be the first hour of them moving in, maybe 4 groups at a time, however they do it, and then some silly twist. I don't think we're going to get a challenge tonight. I don't think we're going to get noms or any of that. I think they're going to want to pull you in to Sunday's episode. And that's even with saying, are the live feeds starting tonight? Do we even know that? Because in seasons past, we don't get the live feed until after the first eviction because they've already been technically in the house for 2 weeks. So like, are we getting live tonight? Is this something that's actually happening, or did the house guests move in 3 days ago and we're just live to us?
I
so many questions.
Yeah, I know. I think I saw something on Reddit earlier that the live feeds were starting as soon as they moved in, but I'm not sure about that.
Oh, wow.
I think I saw something along the lines of that, but that could have been just like a wild rumor. You don't know what to believe for this. Yeah.
It totally could be. Like I've personally never watched the live feeds except once off my friend's account. Like, oops, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that live, but I've only watched the edited episodes, and like that's all the content I get. But I'm a huge live reality game live feed watcher. Like I watch everything. Like I try to figure out the strategy as it's going. I think I would be into it. It's nicer when it's free on Facebook. Like I'd rather do that, but at the same time, like this is a season I might pay for. Like I might actually do it because it just and with quarantine, it just feels like who knows when we get to watch another great show. But like I'm kind of excited about these 8 players. Like I think like watching Danielle is going to be super exciting. Like I'm super excited to watch Janelle. I'm super excited to meet Kevin because I never watched this season but saw his clips and he was a little bit bitchy and I kind of like that. Um Bailey, like if she spits blood again, would be amazing. Kazar, I know like everybody says they love him, but I can't remember him, which everybody's gonna hate me for. Because isn't he like super popular?
I would
But what?
say.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like everybody wants him to win, right? Like,
See, and I
but
like
like,
lifing the live feeds. The first week is usually kind of boring. It's all everybody kind of trying to figure out where they're going to be in at. But I like catching those little things like that. They don't show you through the edited version. The only thing is the actual comps and DRs, I guess, when you watch it on CBS. I mean, a lot of times I wait to watch it on CBS because I'm like, oh, I've already seen it. I know who goes home because you see them wearing the power veto or you don't see them or whatever the case may be. But I'm huge. I love watching the live feeds, even if it's just in the background.
Yeah, I have never really taken the time to go and pay for the live feeds either, but I have seen clips of them on YouTube, and I think they add another great dynamic to the show that you get to see the full picture and not just the edited down version
Yeah, but
of
they
what the
do
show
make the edited down version a little boring. Again, like when I turn it on,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, I just
True.
want to see the comp because you know who's winning. You usually know who's going home by what they're
Mhm.
talking about in the room. So it does kind of, I think, lessen the fact, but I'm so
Mhm.
nosy. I still have to turn it on. I'm like, I'm not watching, but I will.
Fair enough.
okay, I want to play a game with you guys. So out of these
Okay.
8 players, let's say these 8 are the final 8 of Big Brother All Stars. Who the hell is gonna win? Or who is the final 2? Let's do that. Who is the final 2?
All right,
Um,
And you
Janelle is going to win every competition from the final 8 until the end and take home the prize. Is my guess. Calling it now.
for me, I'd like to see a mixture of like old, new, middle. Like I would love to see. I mean, Cody's not my favorite player, but if we're going off this 8, um, I'm gonna say Kazar, Cody, Janelle, maybe Danielle, like a mixture of old with new, and in the middle, like maybe they can come together and figure out how to make it all work.
I kind of agree. I could see Cody like losing at the end again. Like, didn't wasn't he the one that like didn't he bring what's his face to the end? Can you guys hear me?
Who did Cody bring to the end?
Derek.
Huh?
Derek.
Yeah, it was
Derek?
Derek.
Yeah, it was
Derek.
Derek.
Yeah. So like ridiculous choice. So like I could see like people like keeping him around because he made such a ridiculous choice in the first place.
Yeah, but like people like him, Memphis, I think if they make it that far, if Memphis is playing again, he's just a rumored name. I think they would realize that like I'm not going to go to the end and lose ridiculously to who is sitting next to me. So maybe they'll keep that in mind when they're putting up nominees, when they're trying to get people out. Maybe they'll actually think about where the jury would vote.
Yeah. I would actually as much as I want Janelle to just comp beast through the entire season, I think Cody does have a very, very good shot to get to the end this time. I think he's he's in that mindset, and it hasn't been a while since he played Big Brother, so he's still in that mindset too, you know. So I feel like he could go far, and he could potentially sit at that final 2 if he just keeps playing the same strategy almost that he played the first time. But maybe he plays a different strategy to make him win better. I don't know. That's just my take.
Maybe he takes David to the end.
Now that could be interesting. That could be interesting.
But David, I don't know. Like maybe David has this amazing game because we haven't gotten to see it yet.
Mhm, mhm.
But it goes back to the title of All Stars. It's like
Yeah.
I feel like if you're an All Star, we know your stats. Like we got stats on you. Like you have a player's card. Like I don't feel like David has a player's card yet at all.
That's
I think
true.
that's what CBS should have did is got like first, second, and third boots of the game and bring those
Yeah.
all back.
Yeah, like a first boots type season. That
Because
would
I
be
would love
cool.
to see Brian again.
Yeah.
It's so true because they're all at the same level too. They like you don't like how do you target somebody who was the third boot when you were the first boot? Like you can't like that's just what's the point? But you can target a winner because it makes sense, or a runner up, or a
I
third.
mean, do you think that's why they bring back a person like David? Maybe they're giving the all-star cast chances to like, oh, well, they'll just be first boot, they'll be second boot, and your all-star cast is going to get more of a level up because of it, like a filler spot. I mean, that's bad to say,
I
but
hope not.
I mean,
That would
it's a
be
good
terrible.
possibility.
Well, all right. Let me ask y'all a quick question. So, we see all these eight players on the screen here. They're all really good there, but then we also have other rumored players. Do y'all want to talk about the other rumored players while we're kind of at it a little bit?
Sure, why not? Like,
Why
because
not?
I'm all for Keisha. I'm sad her birthday already passed. Like,
I know. I wanted
that's my
Keisha's
favorite
birthday
clip
too.
on YouTube. Like, I'll watch it a million times. Like, I will cry rolling on the floor laughing in hysterics. Like when they sing happy birthday.
Oh,
That's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's like my favorite moment in Big Brother history. Absolutely. Like it's like tone deaf and like atonal, like it's just uncomfortable.
Well,
I personally, out of the rumored list, would love to see Danielle Reyes back, only because we're going back to Big Brother 3. And I know other people have played
mhm,
since then, but she has it. I mean, if you think about Big Brother 3 versus Big Brother Now, where we have all the extra types of vetoes, you don't have to work for your food comps, it's slop. Like, I would like to see someone like her totally have to do a 180 because it's so different. I wonder, like, would she last? I mean, think about Survivor, the old school versus new school. Like, is she ready to jump on board in game and start trying to figure out who's going to do what, or is she going to be more laid back and let it play out? I mean, that would be who I want to see most out of the rumored cast.
yeah, I there's a lot of people in the or the rumored cast. Sorry, I can't talk. Um, the rumored cast that I am rooting for. If it's true. I mean, I was rooting for Nicole Anthony last season when she was playing. Uh, I think she did. Um, she did a really good job, and she just played like a really loyal, nice game, and she also just had that really like nice personality to her, um, throughout the whole game. So I would root for her if she's playing. Memphis is another big one that I would root for. Big Brother 10, he hasn't played since then, but he was runner up on that season, Dan, and I mean he also just played a really, I think he did play a pretty loyal game that whole time, didn't he? Just to Dan, it was just them two,
I
correct?
think Dan
Yeah.
was just a better speaker. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
sometimes it's just the way you answer, maybe in the end. I think Dan was just better prepared, especially with all the antics Dan pulled playing on his side. That Memphis, honestly, I don't think anybody stood a chance against Dan. I don't care how
Mm-mm.
bad he plays. I think if he goes to the end, he's so articulate and he knows what people want to hear and he can express it so well that I think he could pull that psychiatrist move and make you vote for him. Be like, oh, yeah, you're right. You do deserve my vote. I just think he's that well adversed in what he's trying to come across.
Yeah. And I don't know if y'all watched the CBS promo clips that came out on YouTube this past week. There was a house tour, and then yesterday there was a preview. Did y'all watch those?
I did watch the house tour and I was a little like, I'm like, I don't know, that house looks like something they do in Canada or Australia. That's not our house.
Susan, I loved certain aspects of the house. I love that it finally feels different for the first time, like
Mhm.
in like since forever. Like I feel like they've lived
Yeah.
in the same damn house. I was like, what the hell? Like, okay, you guys know Big Brother better than me. Is the house like structured like very differently? Because it looks very different to me.
I don't
No,
think it's like architecturally structured any differently than it has
no.
been before, but it
The
is.
rooms are in the same places and all that
I
stuff.
think
I think the biggest difference now from earlier seasons was, I don't know if you guys remember, like seasons 1 through 4, maybe 5, when they were voted out and they went to go sit with Julie, you could see the backyard and the house behind them. There was like a
Yeah.
window, so it kind of looked like a gazebo type deal they were going into. And there was no fans or no audience. It was just you seeing the house in the background.
Mhm.
And you don't anymore. Now it's, how they come out and you can see all these people in the
Yeah.
audience. And that's another thing. How's that going to be with no audience? We're back to no audience when people get voted
Mhm.
out. You won't hear the boos or the screaming.
Well, we'll just have to cheer loud from home.
We could go old school to like back when they did like radio plays and sitcoms. They could have like the laugh track and the boo track and the applause track, and Julie just clicks a button and she's like, I don't like them, and it boos. It's like, oh, you're funny, laugh. So like Julie could just control everything from at home. I think it's a great idea. They should, like, anybody from Big Brother listening, you should give Julie one of those like things where she can press buttons and make sound effects. It'll make it more interesting for me.
I'm
So
interested
I
to
would
see the
love
first
that.
eviction too, because they're doing the whole, this is COVID time. There's gonna be no audience. Like, will we get that handshake from Julie? Will Julie's chair be a little bit more pushback from the person now just voted out? Like, are they gonna play on that? I mean, for me personally, I think they're gonna have this whole thing tonight where they had the cast and some of them had COVID, so they weren't picked. Like, I think they're gonna play into that, but that's just my opinion.
Mm.
oh my gosh, I hope Julie is a hologram.
Oh.
They just literally keep Julie at home, send in this big bright ass light. Julie Graham pops up,
Julie Graham.
and they're like, "Oh my gosh, like this is Big Brother of the future."
Oh my gosh, Kirk, I think you literally just predicted this season. There's not going to be a season. Everyone is going to be a hologram.
Right? They're all playing from home
They're
on
all
Boo.
playing from home.
Oh,
Everybody's
what if they're all that? What? Who was the robot? That Southern girl that was like, "Hey guys,
Zingbot.
out."
Zingbot.
No, not Zingbot. The
Oh.
girl who turned into a robot for one episode.
Oh yeah. I have to look her name.
I have to, yeah.
She was like final 6 or final 5. What would the? They could give all of the characters or all of the cast members these robots to drive around the house.
If Nicole Franzel is playing, she would probably figure out a way to hack the system and win all the competitions.
They would all be Nicoles running around the house.
Oh my gosh.
Susan, did you figure out who it was?
Catherine? No.
No. Don't you guys remember? She had like a punishment. They took her out of the house and they put in a robot.
Oh, was it? Yeah, it was it Sam?
Say
Sam,
It
yeah.
was him. Yeah, that's what
Sam
he just said.
Bledsoe.
So what if they just like for COVID, they all live, because I heard they bought them all a house to live in during this whole like, so they're all sequestered. Like, can you imagine how pimp that must be? So like I would be like, I don't need to go in the house. And then what if we gave them just all robots, all Sam bots, and they're all Sam bots running through the house? I'd watch it for an episode.
Yeah,
Oh
for
my
one
God.
episode.
And then Dan Giesling can finally play because he could just sit at home on his streaming computer.
Brilliant. I love this. Dan, you should steal some kind of idea out of this.
That would be awesome. I would
That would
love
be
to see
awesome.
that.
I would too. I would be all about it. So we haven't talked much about Davon, the day. So
I
what?
like her. She's she's flashy. She's loud. She's gonna say what she wants. However, I do know that does get you in a lot of trouble. People are gonna be less likely to work with her because she will rat you out. She doesn't care if it means her, which I don't blame her. Like, if it's you or somebody else, tell what you got to tell. But I think that her being so loud and flashy that people are going to be like, oh, she might be more not beneficial because of that. However, why not keep her around? She's going to throw herself under the bus. Like, keep somebody explosive who's going to take the vote off you. So she's one of those hit or miss. I guess it depends on what type of game the other people are going to be wanting to play.
For sure. Like whoever she aligns with, I hope she picks the right people. I think they should be very opposite of her personality for her to be super successful. Like have a small group that can do other things because she's spicy and she can bring it to the house, which could really help a group of people trying to get further in the end.
Mm.
I
And
Yeah.
agree.
so is Danielle. She's got that little spicy kick to her too. So she could be I don't that'd be interesting. Are they gonna butt heads or are they gonna see eye to eye like Danielle and Davon? They haven't played together, right?
No, they haven't. Well, it's usually the female cast that are more catty and stuff. So I'm gonna say that's probably why, they would balance each other out. Like they probably be one of the ones that CBS is hoping for that cat fight between because they're both loud, they're both gonna express what they say.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I
I mean,
hope.
because we have like if Danielle is on the cast, she wasn't really that catty. I don't see her being the I'm gonna start a fight to cause drama. I think people like Janelle will be in between. They know it could work, they know it couldn't work, but I think like Donato, Devon, who else? What other girl? They are going to bring the cattiness because that's the big brother they know. Like they know it's about the flash and the drama, where the ones before kind of like, no, it's more about the strategic play.
What do y'all think about another rumored cast member, Christmas, coming back?
I heard that wasn't true.
You don't think that's true?
I don't know. Maybe
Mm.
she is. I'd be surprised. I don't know. I I
Okay.
was kind of bored. I was kind of bored that season, to be honest, when I watched it.
Yeah, same.
She didn't
Yeah,
excite me.
Hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that. I don't really have an opinion on her. Like, she may be where I rank the ones that were out sooner. Like, she's just a filler. Like, they couldn't find
Hmm.
anybody else, so they threw her in.
Yeah, I
I mean, I know
agree.
again that's wrong to say. I could be wrong, but she would be part of my filler cast. Just like I'm not really thrilled about Nicole Franzel coming back either. She just doesn't wow me.
I'm weirded out about any winners being in the cast after we just watched Winners at War. It
Mhm.
just feels like, why would you even try? Like, I understand it's quarantine, it's COVID. It's like, maybe this is my only big shot right now. But at
Mhm.
the same time, is it your best shot to win Big Brother? Probably not. So
Mm.
good luck to any winners that play in All Stars, but we've seen how that plays out. So,
Well, I
I mean,
think.
but that could be a strategy too. Like, would people want to award somebody that second win? I mean,
Mhm.
oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, and
That's super
I
true.
think the only two rumored winners at this time are Ian and Nicole.
mhm.
So there's only two of them, and that's interesting because if that is true, we could see either them both play. We haven't seen Ian play in a while, so we could see him play just a very like kind of laid back type game that he played like the first time. Just sit back and
I
manipulate.
think if the
You
rumored
know.
cast is true, I want to see the relationship between Enzo and Ian. I don't know why it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, they mirror each other, but they don't. I
Hmm.
think that that's going to be a good little bromance twosome. I can see them
Yeah.
two like bonding over whatever it is because Enzo's going to be like, who would want Ian to win again and
Mhm.
use that to his advantage?
Yeah, it's true. Well, I was just kind of gonna say that if Nicole and Ian are the only two winners playing, that could be very easy pickings for the first two on the block. That could be if neither of them win or anything. I mean, that could be because they're winners. You
So,
just can't
yeah.
navigate around the fact that you win.
And you're putting, if it's only two and it's only two people on the block, yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. I totally agree.
Mhm.
There's something else I just like kind of looked at the picture, maybe you agree or disagree with me, but when I look down the line, everybody to me looks like a little bit older or a lot older, except for Janelle.
Agreed.
Like, why does Janelle look like she's the same?
Oh,
Like it's been a minute.
yeah. Well, have we seen any? Does Janelle have social media? Does she post often, or I don't know. But
I'm
I
not
don't follow her.
really a social media follower of
No.
people, so
okay,
I wouldn't know. We'd
yeah,
have to do that next podcast, invite somebody who's on all the sites who could tell us.
yeah. I mean, I maybe she just is uh
Good genes.
yeah, good genes. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was trying to find
Yeah.
the word
Yeah.
there for a sec. But yeah, maybe
Yeah.
she's just doing good. I don't know. Very interesting though. Very interesting.
I'd like to see Hayden back. I think that's going to be fun.
Ooh, hmm.
Maybe he'll talk about his Survivor experience on there.
Do you think is he another rumored person?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah.
But he's a winner, right?
Um, I think didn't he
Did he?
win? He didn't win Big
Um,
Brother, no, but he
no,
might have won
Oh,
Survivor. No, he didn't win Survivor because he's only
no.
played in Blood versus Water, and I think
I
that
will tell you his
yeah.
placement right now. I had my file pull up, but
perfect.
Um,
Hayden Moss.
Hayden he lost. Yeah, he got voted out on day 35 on Survivor
On
Blood
Big
versus
Brother
Water.
12, he got first place. He had the 4 votes to win.
Oh, so he won.
So we have 3 winners.
I
Rumor
do
chat.
Really?
know. I did know something. I just got like if this was a immunity challenge, Kirk's back in the game.
Oh, memory would be my worst.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
Then
actually on the page I've been looking at, I saw this house guests past season stats thing on Reddit today, and that's the one that I kind of am regarding as the official, and I did not see Hayden's name on there, so that's why I was confused.
I mean, again, we just pulled these 20 names from
Mhm,
different
that's true.
survivors. I mean, different Big Brother sites that were saying
Mhm,
it's rumored, different ones or have other people. I mean, some are still saying Dan and Josh are going to be on there. Some are still saying Derek are going to be on there. So, I mean, we don't know. We won't know for another
I
2 hours.
for another couple hours. Although I will say a lot of people are backing what Evil Dick posted because
mhm,
another group posted that and they think that's the legit list and these 8 are on that list. Or so I mean, I have a feeling it's going to be legit, but the truth of the
mhm,
matter is CBS in order to do this would have had to have gotten a lot more than 16 houses, which is crazy. The amount of money they're investing, they are expecting everybody to be on these live feeds. I think they are trying to like amp up the like income in this one because if they're renting houses for all of these different contestants and doing all of these like pod based kind of like work groups,
mhm.
like it's crazy. and
Yeah,
and I'm sure pre-production has been going on for quite a long time for to get this together.
I would say that the amount of production and the precautions that they've probably taken for this season is probably bigger than any other Big Brother season that we've seen. Like with all this stuff, the amount of money and that they've invested, I don't know. I think it's going to be very,
That's
very
another thing, like the
interesting.
precautions. Everybody keeps,
Mhm.
we're talking
Yeah.
precautions. Obviously, it's COVID. Do you think that's going to change with the house guests? I mean, we've all watched. A lot of it is.
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to see them instead of giving condoms, they're going to be giving masks out to the players? I mean, like, what are some of the things you guys think are going to change, or are they not really going to touch base on it? Are they all going to figure, well, we tested negative, we're all good to go?
I mean, in my personal opinion, I think they will probably continue to do like COVID tests like throughout the season, just like periodically, just check up on everyone. But I feel like if these people, I mean, I read an article on something the other day, and it was saying about Big Brother for this one that they have gotten tested for COVID. Every contestant has gotten tested like every like 1 or 2 days, like
I
leading up
did
to
see
this.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
every like third day or something they're being
Hmm.
tested. But that's what I
It
thought too. Like throw the mask on. We're talking in lines. Like, is that going to be the key? I mean, because
I
personally, I don't care if you're tested or not.
yeah.
I don't know about going like this right now with anybody.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think they'll just have to play at their own risk. It sounds bad, but they'll just I think they might just be all fine, and they might just go in and just play normal. I have no idea what we've never seen this before either. That's the thing, we've never seen something like this, so
I mean,
It's
let's just
true.
hope
It's
going in, nothing happens. I mean, we see other seasons of stuff being canceled, baseball being
Mhm,
canceled because it's just not as great as we thought it was going in. Like,
mhm,
that's always a possibility to be too, going in and midway season, something going wrong, and bam, Big Brother.
mhm,
that would be devastating, and that's for sure.
mhm.
The production company is trying to prevent that happening at all odds, which is why I wouldn't be surprised that if something happened, I mean, because you can imagine if one person got sick and infected a cast member, it's probably going to infect the cast or like
Yeah.
a like members of the cast. So I wonder if how they would address that. They've already had to have thought of that and thought about what we do for the players, what we do for our audience. So I'm sure they have some strategies to mitigate any of that. But I mean, it's kind of risky. It's crazy. I mean, to think about just a production team, if like somebody was COVID positive suddenly and like it affected an entire team of people, that would be detrimental. But I'm sure they had to have thought of so many situations in
Mhm.
order to do this. And like we were reading about in the other chat, Susan, hockey's going on right now. I mean, they're trying to move forward best we can. I mean,
Yeah, but a
I'm
lot of it's
teaching.
failing. I mean, baseball, all their games are getting canceled now. Even school, we were going back to school next week, and this morning I found out we are not going back to school
Oh,
next week.
I'm so sorry.
Really?
Wow.
We are
Wow.
doing e-learning till Christmas break, and then we're going to readdress it.
Oh my gosh.
So I
I'm
feel like it's a
so
day
sorry.
by day thing. That's why I'm wondering with the
Uh,
reality, like, I mean, how can they guarantee it's going to be, you know what I'm saying? It just takes the one person testing positive and that's it, it's all over.
yeah. So it's like we could be experiencing a Big Brother Canada all over again, potentially. I hope not. This because this just is a nice escape. I think a lot of people need it, and hell, I want to see Janelle. Like, I'm super excited to watch this, to watch her just like
I
dominate.
mean, I'm thrilled about all the cast so
Mhm.
far. I mean, if I didn't really care for them, I mean, I'm just a Big Brother fan, Survivor fan. Like, I want some kind of reality right now in my life.
Exactly. I remember when Winners at War was airing back last spring. I mean, that was literally the one thing that I looked forward to every week to kind of just escape from the reality and all my college online classes and everything else that was surrounding everything. That so it's for CBS to even like attempt to do something like this. I mean, they're doing both Big Brother and Amazing Race to keep fans engaged for this. I mean, I think that shows a lot of dedication about how much they care for their fans to just be able to, do this and put the shows on. So, you know.
Well, maybe they'll owe us season so they could just do back to back Survivor once it can go back on. Maybe we'll just get a full year of all the reality.
Yeah, that's another thing with a Survivor. I don't know what they're gonna do for season 41 now, but we'll find out, I guess.
I mean, because you figure we didn't even get after Big Brother End, we were getting like the Big Brother Over the Top, the Celebrity One, the Celebrity Two. We didn't even get that for this season, which we should have gotten before this started.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like I've always thought Big Brother could be doing so much more to raise its like income. Like it's so easy. You have the place, you just have to refurnish it and recast it and do it again. It's like it's like a sequester mini, just throwing them out there.
Yep. So I guess we really can't really discuss the cast no more until we're 100% sure, but I'm going to go with 80% of that list is right.
I'm gonna
Even
go
if
with
this is photoshopped or not,
straight 100% is right. That's my guess.
I mean, you figure they had to give us something. That photo wasn't accidentally leaked on their own site by a production member. I mean, it's going to be guiding us where.
I think this photo that we're looking at right now is real. I think all 8 of these players are going to be on it. I think as far as the other players that have been rumored to be on it, I think we might be in for at least 80% of that to be true.
Yeah, because I don't know
85%.
where they would have got Brett Robinson's name from. He seemed to be on a
Mhm,
lot of the sites, and I was just kind of like, really?
mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, one last question from me. Out of this list of 8, who's the first one voted out of the game? Who goes the earliest?
Oh no, I'm not. I want to say David, but no, I don't.
I'm gonna say Bailey.
Ooh.
Ooh,
I'm gonna
Mhm. I
maybe.
would agree.
say
I would
she's
agree
gonna
with that.
come in. She's been on the challenge. Her and Swaggy are getting all this media attention. Say yes to the dress. I'm gonna say she comes in like a pampered princess, and people are gonna be like, no.
Mhm. I would have to agree with you there. I think Bailey, and then one other person that is not on this 8 is sitting next
Hmm.
to her on the block.
Yeah,
I think that's the first.
definitely.
Yeah.
That totally could happen. My guess, and you'll probably disagree with me, but if I look down the list, I think it's going to be Kevin. I think Kevin's going to be the same. He's going to be just as bitchy and kind of like attitudey, but because he's not so young and such a spring chicken, people are going to be like, I don't want to hear this attitude from this old dude. And I think Kevin's going to be booted right away.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's gonna be interesting.
That's my hot take.
So
Wow.
we got an hour before cast release, so everybody can go
Oh,
do what they got to do their planning, order their pizza, get their food together, get their fantasy picks in a row, and
Yeah.
we'll address this maybe in a couple days. Our next
yeah.
episode isn't
Yeah.
until Sunday, so maybe Sunday, Saturday, we can all get back on. Anybody else who wants to join, has an opinion, or wants to send some questions, anything, everything's all open to that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd
And
love to.
definitely. Yeah, that sounds amazing. And so, yeah, looking forward to watching this, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All
All right.
right.
Thanks, Alex, for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.